Sebastian Martinez, MMA Net, here with John Kavanagh, head trainer at SBG Ireland. How are you doing? You've got Gunnar Nelson fighting the main event, and you were very successful coaching Conor McGregor last week. It seems like spirits are high with you.
Yeah, we're on a good run. I've got 3 fights on Saturday night, 2 here and 1 in Canada, and if we win those 3 fights, we'll be 13-0 in the UFC as a team, which is pretty impressive, I think. Especially all 13 wins have been stoppages, you know, so or a couple of decisions, unanimous decisions as well. So yeah, we're just trying to keep that momentum going. All the fighters have an air of confidence around them. You know, all the reporters that are coming to me say, "Wow, you guys have got this real confidence," and it's born out of training. You know, we're at this. Most of these guys have been with me upwards of 10 years, and we've been putting the work in, and we're finally starting to reap the rewards now. So just got to keep that momentum going.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, momentum is no question about it, and all respect to the club before, but is there anything that's been done differently? So what started this momentum? Because it seems like you guys really are on top of the world now. What's caused that?
You know, it's a bunch of factors coming together, but I really do, I know Conor and Gunny are with me, like I said, almost 10 years, and all of those guys that are really coming to the forefront now are with me minimum 7 years, and that's how long it takes to get to this level. You can't just start, you know, train and then a year later you're going in and you're blowing people away. I said this when I was doing interviews in the States. There's a different route for Scandinavians or for Europeans to get into the UFC. For us to get into the UFC, we've got to do a lot of fights in Europe, generate a lot of media attention, and then the UFC take notice. Whereas in America, you could be 4-0 or 5-1 and get into the UFC and be 2 years. Okay, you might have a wrestling background, but 2 years doing MMA, and then suddenly bang, you're in the UFC. We can't do that. Most of the guys in Europe that get into the UFC are doing MMA for 7-8 years, and that's the case for my guys. They've all been doing it +7, +8 years, a lot of pro fights on the European circuit. So by the time we do go to the UFC, we're ready for those high-level fights, and that's what we've shown. We've been blasting through the opposition, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, we were talking to Cathal Pendred before, and he said that there's fighters from all around the world calling you up, asking to train with you. Are there any names you can disclose? Any gossip?
I'd rather not say. But what I do say to those guys when they contact me is that they're welcome to come by. But there's no magic. Like I said, we are at this a long time. I don't have a fighter. Like if I had a fighter that joined day 1 and then 12 months later was in the UFC, that'd be wow, they're doing something different. It's like, no, they're all training many years with me, so for someone to think they're going to come in and then 2 months later something magical has happened, it's not the case. You've got to be with me for a long time. This doesn't happen overnight. Skill development doesn't happen overnight. But yeah, we're getting a lot of guys getting in contact and dropping over for a week or 2, which is good for my guys because they're good sparring partners. Yeah. So it's good momentum and pretty good pronunciation of Carl's name as well. I'll give you a blue belt for that.
Blue belt, all right. That's good. That's a higher belt than I have in real life. So now I've got to ask, Conor McGregor, huge win last weekend. How close do you feel he is to a title shot?
As I said to one reporter, how many people have to get hurt? How many people have to be unnecessarily hurt? Let's put an end to this. Let's put an end to this destruction of poor humans.
Realistically, though, in terms of rankings and such, do you think that he has a realistic chance of getting the next title shot?
I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. And let's look at the Swanson and Edgar fight are coming up, because they're kind of saying maybe the winner of that. Unless Edgar destroys Swanson, so let's say Edgar beats Swanson, but it's a decision or it's close. Well, Swanson did the same to Dustin, so the 3 of those guys you have to say are kind of on a similar level. What happened when Conor met Dustin? He looked like he'd never trained in his life. So if the Swanson-Edgar fight is close in any way, either way, well then those 3 guys can't be in the picture. You have to go with Conor. If Edgar destroys Swanson, absolutely runs through him in a minute, then you could kind of say, oh well, maybe there's an argument there. Then you got to look at the entertainment side. Who is it that's getting all the numbers? Who is it that's bringing in all these views? We know who it is. It's Conor, you know. So I'd be very surprised if he's not next in line for the fight. But I guess time-wise, it's not going to be till next March maybe, because the fight will be in October and you need time to recover. So could be a while away, but I do think it's going to be him next.
Now, if the schedules don't match up, or if something happens, he doesn't get the next title shot, is there any opponent you guys feel would be ideal for Conor McGregor?
I really think they're all ideal. I think, you know, we saw Conor do it on Saturday night. I believe we're going to see Gunnar do it this Saturday night. They're making these guys look very, very ordinary. And it's because they are, to be honest. You've got your standout, your top few guys that are really, really exceptional, but there's a lot of guys there that are pretty stagnated in skill-wise, and the guys are showing them up. And it wouldn't really matter who there is. There is no opponent. As long as you're improving yourself, it doesn't matter who's on the other side. And we'll see that on Saturday night, I think.
Well, it's something we're looking forward to. This is Sebastian Martinez, MMA Minute, here with John Kavanagh for UFC Fight Night Stockholm. Thank you very much.